right, everyone, welcome to Beta Update Week 2. This is Wabacha. Let's go and jump right into it. First thing I want to talk about are the Awakening supporter packs released this week. Each supporter pack does include beta access, so if you want an alternative to waiting for that beta inviter on their front page or participating in the race events that they have going on, this is a great way to support GGG and to get yourself into the beta. I personally did this. It only cost $30. I think this is a no-brainer. It's already a free game, and we want them to do better, so supporting them is always good. Speaking of supporter packs, we also have the Highgate supporter packs. At $1,100, they allow you to create a divination card. Now, a divination card is a card that allows a player to trade a group of cards to the NPCs for a specific item. It is something that the community has wanted for a long time, a way to farm certain areas of raid class to get specific items. Now, there's going to be a lot of balance involved with them, and they're only going to be created by supporters, not by developers. So I'm excited to see what the first one we get is from a supporter. And there, like I said, there's going to be a lot of balance involved with them, so I don't know when we're going to see it. Then now the next thing I want to talk about are the new jewels that we've been seeing this week. Reign of Splinters is a unique jewel that grants 2 additional projectiles to totems. Right now we're seeing Willy Wonka and Noogie use these jewels with a range attack totem build. Currently Willy Wonka is using Kinetic Blast while Noogie is using Tornado Shot, and both of which they look good, and it makes range attack totem look like a perfectly viable build for softcore and hardcore alike. We also have Ziggy D using the Reign of Splinters jewel. He's using it with a more traditional spell totem build, and during his Q&A with Rory over the weekend, he went through every spell in the game almost, and it was just absurd the amount of projectiles he got on the screen. I mean, I believe at one point he had 14 to 15 freeze pulses just shooting way across the screen, and it just cleared everything out. And I mean, that's exactly what we want in an action RPG, right? We want the ability to just absolutely decimate a room and just get through everything. And keep in mind that the jewel is actually broken right now. It is only supposed to work once, but people are able to stack it. So it is going to be changed, but whatever, we'll see. The next jewel I'd like to talk about is one that I'm personally excited about, is Surprise Youth. Now, Surprise Youth is a corrupted unique jewel that grants Soul Eater for 10 seconds on Val skill use. There is a requirement that you have to be wearing corrupted items, 5 corrupted items, in order to use it. I do not think that will be too hard, and I'm not entirely sure if the jewel itself counts towards that requirement, but I'm excited to get my hands on ones. I want to try it with one of those permanent Val haste builds or one of those permanent Val Grace discipline builds. We'll see how it goes, and I'm looking forward to get a hold of one. The next jewel that I want to talk about is the jewel Hidden Potential. Now, Hidden Potential is a jewel that grants % increased damage based off each magic item you have equipped. Now, when I first saw this, I wondered, how am I going to justify using this jewel over my unique or rare items, especially most of which are build enabling? But as it turns out, this jewel is much better suited for a leveling jewel, as you wear mostly blue items. Now, not to say that it won't have some late game implications. I think it might have a spot in Righteous Fire builds or Poison Arrow builds, and we'll see how that goes. The final thing I want to talk about is a lot of the developer interaction we had this week. Carl actually just released a state of the beta on the forums, talking about everything they've been learning, all the information that they've been getting from the players, the beta testers, from the community, just everything. He talks about how jewels are kind of in a weird spot. The magic ones aren't as strong as they should be, but the rare ones are possibly a little too strong, talking about how they're not going to allow jewels to roll the same prefixes. And another thing is, he did say that unfortunately we might see some jewels disappear because of their possible strength, as they have seen that they could be extremely powerful in the long run. Now, that wasn't the only the developer interaction we had this week. Rory also was in a Q&A with Ziggy D over the weekend. It was about 2 hours long, and I'll provide a link to the whole Q&A on Ziggy D's YouTube channel. But he talked about things ranging from the current state of Eldritch Battery and how they possibly are looking at changing ES to better accommodate the new Eldritch Battery as opposed to putting a passive behind Eldritch Battery. He also talked about the slow and gradual increase of players having access to monster skills. Now, Rory's own developer unique, Whispering Ice, is a perfect example of this. He also brought up the fact that we might see a Touch of God style skill coming up soon. And, you know, Touch of God is obviously the Dominus ground slam that he has. There's a lot of information on there. I encourage you to go check it out. Read the state of the beta by Carl. Watch the Q&A on Ziggy D's YouTube channel, and watch the streamers right now. Get involved. Go purchase a $30 supporter pack. Make trading on the beta easier for us who are currently on the beta. And I hope to see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.